Welcome to this edition of Bonehead of the Week. Thanks for sticking with us all week. It's Friday, and you know what Friday means. Every single Friday, that's Bonehead of the Week on the Tony Michaels podcast. And if you're watching the replay on the MeidasTouch network, every single Friday, we have Bonehead of the Week. What happens is you go vote on Twitter, at Tony Michaels Pod, or on YouTube, on our YouTube channel at Tony Michaels Podcast on YouTube. You vote, you decide who is the Bonehead of the Week, and then we break it down every single week here on the Tony Michaels Podcast in the second hour, because we broadcast, Gabe, every single weekday, Monday through Friday for 2 full hours. So this is what we do on Friday. So if you're on the MeidasTouch Network channel, subscribe right now. Don't forget to do that if you're watching the replay. And also, you can download every single episode on Apple, Spotify, Google. You can even download the Bonehead of the Week in and of itself. Just go search the Tony Michaels Podcast. Subscribe, follow us everywhere. And don't forget to vote every single Thursday for Bonehead of the Week. Gabe, who are our Boneheads this week?
Well, this week we've got the insurrectionist, wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, Ginni Thomas.
Ooh.
We've got the quote-unquote judge, Aileen Cannon, as I like to refer to her lately, and the governor, Ron DeSantis.
DeSatan was actually...
DeSatan, that's another... I mean,
that's the one that was trending today
nicknames.
On Twitter. He does. He's an asshole. He is an asshole.
Well, you know...
is that who we should start with? Is Ron DeSantis? Is that who we should start with here?
Yeah, we could start with Ron.
I think Ron DeSantis should go fuck himself. And if you want to get some Ron DeSantis can go fuck himself merch, just go to store.dtonymichaels.com. This stuff is flying off the shelves. Everyone, I think, really likes this art that we did. So go pick up your Ron DeSantis merch. But Ron DeSantis... he's dealing with several things here. He was being a bonehead before the hurricane hit Florida, of course. Right. And he's definitely going to be a bonehead in the lead up to it. But the one thing I want to say is that when you expect, and I said this all week, this is the third day I've said it, if you expect to vote for a governor who during Hurricane Sandy, while he was a congressperson, he was a congressman then, he was a representative of the state of Florida, and he had the chance to vote on federal relief for hurricanes in New York and New Jersey for Hurricane Sandy. He voted no. That in and of itself, just that thing, should disqualify you from being a governor anywhere. And the reason why is because you are the one who actually allocates those federal funds when they come to your state. And to be a person who would vote against another state getting it because, there's Democrats that live there, that disqualifies you. Because it only says your motives, and your motive is to only give the money to the people you want to have it. You're not going to do what's right by your state and your constituents.
And that also doesn't include that just because the people you want to have it, that doesn't necessarily mean your constituents or the people that you voted for. That's like, I want to pick and choose who I think should get the money or who should get the aid or the FEMA assistance or what have you. Just because they're Republican, they say, I don't want to give it to these blue areas or these blue states or what have you. I want to give it to this red state. But within the red state, it's also doesn't mean that they're going to give it to everyone who is one of the people that they voted for or constituents. So this whole pick and choose, I can have it, but you can't have it, this hypocrisy, like it's the same old thing that Republicans do every single day. And every time there's a tragedy or some event where that state or that county or city or whatever it is that's run by a Republican, and they say, oh shit, we actually need big government to come in. We need help from our collective federal family, as I'll call it. They'll take it then. They'll accept the socialism.
Well,
they'll accept the tax money that goes into the pot and to have that pot come back over to them when they really need it. But if someone else needs it, they go,
No.
Good luck.
Not a thing.
You go
Not a
fuck
thing.
yourself.
Not a thing. Well, he's cautiously optimistic that the President of the United States, Joe Biden, will do what he's supposed to, which Joe Biden sprung into action immediately.
Yeah.
He didn't even hesitate. The administration didn't even hesitate here.
It's
so
almost like there was a forecast of a hurricane
right.
coming.
You
and Joe Biden said,
"You mean we spent federal dollars to know that shit? Are you kidding me?
It's
Come
crazy.
on.
It's crazy.
That sounds like socialism, Gabe. We shouldn't be engaging in any of that.
I mean, it
forecasting. That seems a little communist.
God forbid, Tony, that we actually use science
right.
to forecast.
Well, there's another bad word. There's another bad word.
You
and your bad words.
I know it's taboo. It's taboo. But God forbid we use science and technology to actually forecast and predict the pattern and the actual path that something like Hurricane Ian will take, and then say, oh, okay, well, we know where to send resources. We know where to have people ready to go to put the lines back up. We know where to make sure to set up our camps with FEMA to make sure that it's out of the path and it doesn't get lost to the hurricane, and we're able to have a safe, secure location where people can go to actually get aid, to get food, to get water, to get shelter, right? Almost kind of sounds Christian-like in the values.
Whoa. Easy. No, don't do that either. Now you're really getting it.
I'm just saying.
Well, let's listen to Tucker Carlson here. I mean, Tucker Carlson talked to Ron DeSantis about how he's cautiously optimistic about the fact that Joe Biden has already sprung into action here. I don't know what he's talking about, but let's listen.
When a natural disaster like this strikes a state, it is common. I think it's always the case that the state receives federal aid. Given how politicized things are at the moment, are you confident you're going to get the federal support Florida needs?
So I actually spoke with the president, and he said he wants to be helpful. So we did submit a request for reimbursement for the next 60 days at 100%. That's significant support, but it's a significant storm. So we haven't heard back from it, but I'm actually cautiously optimistic that we do. I mean, as you say, Tucker, we live in a very politicized time. But, when people are fighting for their lives, when their whole livelihood is at stake, when they've lost everything, if you can't put politics aside for that, then you're just not going to be able to. So I'll work with anybody who wants to help the people of Southwest Florida and throughout our state.
So there you have it.
We talked about this yesterday, and I'll repeat my point. There is no reason whatsoever for Ron DeSantis to say, well, we submitted our expenses and we are going to, or we believe we will be reimbursed for the 60 days up to 100%. Like, there's no reason to try to passive aggressively kind of throw Biden and the federal government under the bus when they were literally and are still sending resources and funding to make sure that Florida has what it needs to keep everyone safe, right? To get people to safe shelter and to get them resources that they need. But the whole fact of Ron DeSantis right now, he's trying to make a dig at already had a conversation with Biden, and Biden was like, yeah, I got you, no problem. Mm-hmm. Don't really care if you're red. I just care that you're an American because that's my job as a president.
It's a United States. It's a United States.
Exactly. I mean, like Obama said, we're not a red, we're not a blue, we're the United States of America. And that is something that Joe Biden definitely brings to the table, especially when there is a catastrophic hurricane coming through Florida, and we want to make sure that people are safe.
Right. Well, here is Joe Biden at FEMA. Let's see. This is a small clip. Let's see what he had to say.
How would you describe your relationship and your conversation with Governor DeSantis?
It's totally irrelevant, but I'll answer it, okay? In fact, very fine. He complimented me. He thanked me for the immediate response we had. He told me how much he appreciated it, said he was extremely happy with what was going on. This is not about whether anything having to do with our disagreements politically. This is about saving people's lives, homes, and businesses. That's what this is about. And so I've talked to him 4 or 5 times already. And it's not a matter of my disagreements with him on other items.
You want a lesson in how to be a leader? There it is. There it is. And again, I expected nothing more or less from Joe Biden than to reach the bar of human decency, patriotism, being an American, caring about people that are in the state of Florida because they're here and he's the president of the United States. Like just that low bar. They are so fucking... We watched as Donald Trump shit during the pandemic, tried to shit on states that he thought were blue and Democrat-run states and all this nonsense during a fucking pandemic where millions of people were dying.
Right.
He tried to shit all over them.
He was like, oh, you guys get some stuff.
Right.
I mean, Jared Kushner was part of the team that was like, oh, well, we're going to choose which states. They're the Democrat or Republican that are going to get resources. And at the end of the
They
day,
were even saying it out loud. They were literally saying it out loud in front of each other. And here Joe Biden is like, look, I don't give a damn whether Ron DeSantis is a Republican or he's a fuck up. Joe Biden knows that Ron DeSantis is the governor of Florida. That is what he has to do. He has to work with the governor of Florida to get them federal aid so that governor can then give that aid to his state, like businesses, citizens, property to clean up. I mean, Joe Biden understands this. And one reason why, Gabe, and they always knock him for this, and I don't really get this. They're like, oh, he was in government for so many years. He knows how it works. Like, okay, so why is that a bad thing? That's a bad thing that Joe Biden understands how disaster relief works in this moment? You people are boneheaded. And the other thing, too, I want to point out about this clip is when Joe Biden says, yeah, he called me, he thanked me. He said, thanks a lot. And
I had 4 or 5 conversations with him.
Right. I don't begrudge the guy because he's looking for federal money for his state. He's trying to help his constituents. I want to do the same thing, is to help the people of Florida. And really, it shits all over the idea that Ron DeSantis played on Tucker Carlson, where he's like, he dances around. Well, I had to talk to the president.
Right.
I didn't have a choice but to talk to the president.
Right.
When that is the case. The president of the United States, Joe Biden, doesn't have a choice but to talk to the governor of Florida here and vice versa. But the absolute projection of Ron DeSantis and Tucker Carlson there is telling. Right. And when you have Joe Biden like, of course, this is what they're going to do. This is what the federal government does. I'm standing at FEMA. I'm standing at FEMA, who he is wanting money from, and I am not going to try to keep him from getting it. I'm going to try to give him every fucking penny I possibly can give him. It's telling.
And the core of it is, it's not political. It's just being an empathetic, caring human. That's what it is. Meanwhile, Tucker Carlson, well, a lot of things have been politicized these days. That should not even be a point. Just like Joe Biden's like, that's irrelevant. There's no reason why my relationship with him doesn't fucking matter. What I care about is that he has the funds and the resources to make sure that he protects the Floridians that are going through this natural disaster. That's it. That's the basic. That's the bare minimum. Let me help you help those in your state. And there should be no politics, because there is no politics around it. It's just, again, being a human who cares about other humans. Novel idea. I know. Weird. Novel.
Weird stuff. Okay, who else do we have on the list? We have Ginni Thomas, the insurrectionist.
Oh, God.
Oh, what happened
Serial
to her?
Killer, sociopath, Ginni Thomas, with that crazy smile that she gave yesterday.
Yeah, we played the video yesterday. Should we replay the video of her walking in? Is that the one we should replay? Is there a video of her saying that, of course, she believes that the election was stolen?
I don't know if there's a video that came out. I think that was the...
I know. That's just an interview.
There was like people talking afterward.
Okay, well here apparently seems to be a picture. Oh, that's the wrong one. But that seems to be a picture of
look at that.
Ginni and Clarence Thomas. Oh my God. Oh, she's an election denier. Yeah. And the smug look on her face in this video, and the absolute smartassery in this video, like, I'm better than you and I won't be held accountable type attitude. And just watch, you'll see.
Ms. Thomas, why do you feel like you need to speak to the committee to clear your name?
Thank you for being here.
Did you speak with your husband of your beliefs of the election being stolen?
Thank you for your question. I look forward to answering members.
Oh.
There is nothing creepier than somebody smiling and very quietly speaking. This isn't like an ASMR video kind of thing. She's like, "Thank you for asking your question. Thank you. Thank you for being here."
For being here.
Like,
I'm
it's
so glad you're here.
it is
really fucking
it is
weird.
it is super creepy. Super creepy.
It's almost like she's a robot in a skin suit or something, right?
I have no idea. I mean,
Is this like the original version of Jared Kushner? Like he's an upgrade or some shit? Because this is weird. The other thing that I didn't notice till just now, she has a cane. Did you notice that?
yeah,
She has a
I
cane.
didn't see it, but I heard the
Right. I didn't notice it the other day when because I watched this several times trying to figure out like who these people were and what
Right.
because it was hard to even kind of determine what she says because the last line she says is I am looking forward to answering that question never is what I think she says.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to answering that question. I look forward to overthrowing the government. Like, I look forward to skinning you alive later. Like that's the vibe I get.
It's
from
a Dahmer
Ginni
vibe.
Thomas.
It's a Dahmer vibe.
Oh yeah.
Huge Dahmer vibe. Well, it's not surprising that Ginni Thomas, after she went and talked, not under oath to the January 6th committee, she came out, and I guess it was an interview or something, where she said, no, I totally believe that the election was stolen. Like even the act of her going in to try to clear her and her husband's name in front of the select committee didn't convince her that she possibly should say in public. But here's the thing. My guess is she has to keep this facade up. Because if Ginni Thomas went out in public and said, of course Donald Trump lost, of course Joe Biden won, it was all bullshit.
Right.
Donald Trump would turn on her in a minute. And they just can't afford that. They just can't afford that because what if that Messiah becomes king again? He might just save them.
Yep.
So they can't turn on him yet. In public, at least. In private, like Bill Barr did and several others.
Yeah.
Now, Bill Barr did it in private with the select committee, and then they played this shit out loud, and Trump turned on him, and Bill Barr's like, okay, well, if that's what you're going to do, I'm going to roast you on this documents thing. Mm-hmm. So, speaking of the documents, oh, man, we got some documents. We were going to make Donald Trump one of the contestants, right? Isn't that right? But it would have been the same slate. Is that right?
It would have been the same one as last week.
That's crazy.
Because last week it was Ron DeSantis was on for trafficking
humans,
Venezuelan migrants to Martha's Vineyard.
Right.
Aileen Cannon, again, doubling down and saying that Trump should not have to do what he has to do, which is he broke the law and has to face the consequences. And then also Donald Trump we had on there because I think just related to the documents itself.
He's just like world-class boneheadedry.
Right.
I mean, it's just, it doesn't stop, right? Mm-hmm. Like he won't quit. He won't quit the boneheadedry. So he ended up being the dishonorable mention because we wanted to give someone else a shot, and that's why we threw Ginni Thomas. She didn't have a chance, though, against these other boneheads.
Honestly, I said it, I tweeted out this morning, I said, Judge, again, in quotes, quote unquote, Judge, Judge Aileen Cannon wanted to be famous, but now she's infamous.
Oh, she is an infamous bonehead. But the reason why I think we put Donald Trump on here is because of video we played the other day where he's in his office.
Uh-huh.
I think that's the reason.
While Hurricane Ian is taking place, I actually there were a couple publications that
of course he's on the other side of the state,
right? He's on the other side of the state.
Fortunately or unfortunately, however,
he's on the other state, and the path kind of goes through. It doesn't really hit the area of Palm Beach, Mar-a-Lago. Right. He's fine.
Ian missed the assignment, really, honestly.
Yeah, he's like,
whatever.
Oops. Yeah. I shared a video online that actually picked up a lot of steam and found its way on different publications, which I was really surprised about. But it's the lack of, or rather, it's just a tone deaf response. While a natural disaster is happening in the very state that you're making this video from, while people are suffering, losing their homes, people are dying, he decides the best use of his time is not to say, hey, let's raise money on behalf of those who are victims of this hurricane. Instead, he says, you guys, I got this really important deadline happening at the end of September to make sure that my quarter 3 financials don't look like dog shit because August did.
Well, how much did he raise in August? How much money? Because it had to be a lot of money in terms of just not compared to what we would think.
No, it was. The number that he raised in the month of August is 40.
40,000?
40.
40 million?
Just 40.
$40?
$40.
Wait. So like did Eric give $40 to get his dad's attention?
You know, that is hard. I've read through the financial statements for the last few months of his super PAC, and I can't identify who the actual donors were, obviously.
Super weird. It almost feels like they can't charge credit cards or something. Like they don't have their credit card machine to process cards. Here's a Whistle Lips here, giving he's begging for money. Let's watch.
We have a major fundraising deadline coming up.
Oh, you do?
And there's never been a time like this. Our country has never been so disrespected. Our country has never been so low, certainly in the minds of others, and especially the leaders of other countries all over the world. We have to change it. We have to bring our country back. We made America great, and now we're going to have to make America great again.
You sure this ain't from 2016?
So I say, whatever you can do, help out. We have to meet the deadline. The midterms are coming up. It's going to be one of the most important elections in the history of our country. So I hope you can help out. We really appreciate it, and good luck.
So he's saying here that you should help with the midterms by not giving to the candidates, but giving to his personal slush fund. Is that what I'm taking?
Yeah. And here's the thing. Little to no money has been given to any of these candidates running in the midterms. So he's trying to, he's piggybacking on the midterms are approaching. So he's like, we got to get this money in now. We got to get this money in for the midterms. But really, the money is being used to pay off his legal bills.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that, I'm not for this. I mean, if they're going to give money to someone, I'd rather they give money to spend on his legal defense where he's going to lose than a candidate that could win. I'm just saying. Then that's why Donald Trump got dishonorable mention, because he's fucking broke. He can't even squeeze together $50. Holy shit. He can't even squeeze together $50.
Wow.
What happened with our alpha cuck here? Jordan Peterson was trending this morning on Twitter. What do we got here? What do we got here? What's
Jordan
going on?
Peterson.
Yeah.
The king of incels. The incel king.
The king.
Found his way on
he looks like an
Piers
incel
Morgan
king here, doesn't he?
Say again?
He does look like an incel king here, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
100%.
The tears of the incel king will...
He was crying?
He was crying. He was crying.
I don't have this clip. I was going to try to cut it. I was supposed to try to cut it. But do you have the YouTube clip and the timestamp, right?
Yeah, I got the... Yeah, I'll get that. So basically the context here is that Jordan Peterson went on to Piers Morgan Uncensored, or whatever the new show is.
Oh, another incel. Incel lord.
Yeah, Piers Morgan Uncensored. So...
is this the same show where he interviewed Donald Trump and they were like trying to, they were, patting each other on the back, and then Piers Morgan challenged him on one question. Donald Trump, got up like a crybaby and left because he couldn't handle. Is that the same show?
I believe that's the same show.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's after he left the Good Morning, Good Morning Britain.
Right, in Britain.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't advertise.
So this is the clip where the question is basically Olivia Wilde, and he'll give context, but Olivia Wilde says that Jordan Peterson is the leader of the incels, right?
What's my timestamp here?
It's the full clip.
Oh,
so
okay.
It leads into it. I mean, he kind of goes on afterward, but after he starts crying, then you can end it.
Okay, I thought that there was a timestamp here.
Oh, that was the longer one from this morning.
Oh, okay. So there's a full version, but this is the abbreviated version. Let's listen.
I've got to wrap it up. I don't want to, but I have to. I want to ask you just quickly, the film director Olivia Wilde has a new movie out, which she says is based on you, this insane man, this pseudo-intellectual hero to the incel community. Incel being these weirdo loner men who are despicable in many ways. Is that you? Are you the intellectual hero to these people?
Okay, it really is rich to watch Piers Morgan call incels like as if he doesn't know that a shit ton of his little following is a bunch of these fucking incels, like these Elon stands even. Oh my God! Come on, Piers. And then he asked him, "Are you that? Because I thought I was that. Are you? Is it you or is it me? I can't remember." What a bonehead.
Why not? People have been after me for a long time because I've been speaking to disaffected young men. What a terrible thing to do that is.
Oh my God.
Thought the marginalized were supposed to have a voice.
That's
the marginalized.
That
Are you
is
fucking...
oh my God.
Listen, I'm a white dude. I'm a white dude in America. I'm not marginalized. No one has ever oppressed me. It's not a thing, Jordan Peterson. Not a fucking thing.
Especially someone who comes off as an elitist intellectual.
Right.
Who goes
Isn't
on.
he Canadian?
Always, I believe
Isn't he Canadian? He's not even American. He's Canadian. I believe he's Canadian. And I'm not trying to toss stones at Canada. I'm just saying that he's not even...
a Canadian. Yep. That's
he's
right.
not. He's not even
clinical psychologist.
Right. And he's more popular in America than he is up there because they don't really play that nonsense up there.
Right.
But this idea that the fucking white dudes, a bunch of white dudes in this country are oppressed and shit, and they're the marginalized community. Get the fuck out of here! Oh my God, you're pointing out white people's privilege. How dare you oppress them? Get the fuck out of here! What?
I mean, this is the same guy who also, and I think I can find a clip here.
Well, I want to play him crying here. I gotta play. I want to watch him cry.
No,
let's watch him cry.
It's making you emotional. Talk about that.
Well, God,
Well, God,
It's very difficult to understand how demoralized people are. And certainly, many young men are in that category.
Oh my God!
You get these casual insults, these incels. What does it mean? It's like, well, these men, they don't know how to make themselves attractive to women who are very picky, and good for them. Women, be picky. That's your gift.
Okay, I'm not going to let him dig his hole any deeper than he's got it here. The reason why these people think this way is because of Jordan Peterson and people like him. Mm-hmm. The reason why trumped up white dudes think they're marginalized and oppressed is because of people like Jordan Peterson. They fucking brainwash them into thinking that equality to the oppressor is oppression. This is all boneheadedry. It's just dumb fuckery. And it's laughable on its face. It's really ridiculous. Is there another clip you want to show of this?
I want to show a clip just to give people full context.
He really did get
Jordan
cucked here.
Peterson. Yeah.
Oh man,
this
perfect.
This is also not the first time he's ever cried, but the clip that I just sent you will give people context for anyone who doesn't know who Jordan Peterson is, because
they'll know from this clip.
If this wasn't a take to say, wow, that gives me an idea of who he is, it's definitely going to be this next take where Jordan Peterson is on Joe Rogan and talks about black skin color and how he's not actually white.
Here's another lord of the incels, Joe Rogan. And it's the same shit. These people wouldn't think they're marginalized. They wouldn't be crying about their oppression that doesn't exist.
Right.
If it weren't for fucks like this. Let's listen.
Depending on who you ask, either you're a voice of reason and rationality and personal responsibility. Or
he couldn't even hardly get it out. Did you know that? He couldn't even hardly come up with the words. What is it called? What is this weird thing? Okay.
Or you're a voice of intolerance and bigotry and anger and hateful.
Yep.
Sexual oppression.
What did Eric Dyson call you? A mean, angry white man?
And a mean, angry white man. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're not mean at all.
Yeah.
That's what's dumb about that statement. You're not mean at all.
I am white. Actually, that's a lie, too. I'm kind of tan. And he was actually not black. He was
What
sort
the
of
fuck am
brown.
I?
Oh,
'Cause
fuck.
I'm darker than you.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but neither of us are white.
Well, I'm Italian.
And he was
mostly.
brown, not black.
Well, isn't that weird?
Yeah, it's really weird.
The black and white thing is so strange because
like
the shades are so
tan and brown.
There's such a spectrum of shades of people.
Okay, I can't. We've done this video before. I think we've done this video 2 or 3 times because these fucking boneheads just.
I mean, it's
Oh,
a video that will never get old, and it will always show you who these people are.
Right.
Specifically, Jordan Peterson trying to make some claim that I'm not actually white.
I'm oppressed. He's
what
not
he's
black,
saying. He's brown. Like
what he's saying is I'm oppressed because of my skin color. Is
Right.
what he's
He's
saying.
like, hey,
fucking
I'm not.
What do you know about?
I'm not.
oppressed because
I'm not as white as my shirt. Which
dumb
is
motherfucker.
kind of like this weird off-white, but he's like, I'm not white, guys. So like, I'm not the bully and I'm not the villain here. I'm actually an off-white. I'm like an eggshell white. I'm like a white that you might go to Home Depot and say, I don't really want
Farm
Casper
fresh
white.
egg color.
Right. But I want like a hint of some color in there just to show people that I'm not actually this.
Do you think
white
he did the
racist guy.
23andMe and he is just pure white?
Yeah, I
Just
think when they
pure
broke
white
it
and
down,
there's
like,
no-
usually
and-
people
Right,
are
they
like,
have
"Oh,
something.
You're like sub-Saharan African, and
Right.
you have this, and it's just like 100%, no way to doubt it, just white. There it is, like,
Jordan
you just have white.
Peterson is whiter than
We don't even-
the powder that goes up Donald Trump Jr.'s nose.
We couldn't even tell you if you're British, Irish, Scottish, like anything
Damn.
over there. You're like, we couldn't even tell if you're like from any. You're like your heritage is the Vikings or anything.
Right.
It's like you're just
Nope.
white. You're
Right. It just
fucking
came.
white.
It just said on his 23andMe, "Damn you white, damn you white."
100%. No lies detected.
Percento, you're white. Which, oh man, we got to finish up here on this bonehead of the week. I hate to get off Jordan Peterson though, but we got to go to another bonehead who thinks she has privilege here. Her name is Judge Aileen Cannon. Everyone famously or infamously, as you said earlier, knows her now as the judge who has really shitty legal takes. This is very awkward for a federal judge who is supposed to know what they're doing, Gabe. It's really awkward. It's really strange to watch a federal judge not know anything about federal judging at all.
The rule of law, their
Right.
job.
Because here's what happened. Because I don't even know if we don't have video of her because she won't even allow video or anything in her courtroom.
Right.
Because she doesn't want people to see what she's doing. So here's the thing. Trump asked for a special master, which is boneheaded in and of itself. She decides that that's a good idea. Then Trump recommends Judge Dearie in the Eastern District of New York, who is kind of a no-nonsense judge, who was on the FISA court that issued the warrant, the wiretapping of Carter Page, who was part of the Trump campaign in 2016. And the right wing hates that. Look, it's corruption. And the DOJ says, oh, you're going to recommend that judge? We'll take him. We'll make him the special master. That sounds great. Judge Aileen Cannon says, fantastic. I'm going to appoint him as the special master. Dearie does the thing that Aileen Cannon should have done when the motions entered her court when Donald Trump wanted a special master. She should have said, you are making all these claims. Are these claims true? That's the bare minimum. And Judge Dearie was kind of doing her job through the special master position. Now, Donald Trump's team did not like that because they want to be able to lie in public. That is what they're doing. This has nothing to do with the criminal case. This has nothing to do with the criminal investigation. The DOJ is not going to stop their criminal investigation or stop a grand jury from indicting him. This special master thing is all distraction and all nonsense. It's all delay tactics. But the thing that Trump's lawyers know and that Aileen Cannon knows is that if Trump does what Dearie wants him to do, is Trump can't then go out in public and say the opposite of what they filed in court. Now, Trump can. He'll fucking lie no matter what. But when I say Trump, I mean his team, his defense. His defense here. His legal team, if they file in court in a motion with the special master that no, the planted evidence thing, that's a lie. There's no planted evidence. He did not declassify these things. They cannot claim that in court. They know it. She knows it. He knows it. Grandpa Poopy Pants knows it. That Dearie is really challenging any defense he has here because it's not a defense. Right. It's not one. Planted evidence that wasn't planted is not a defense. I declassified with my fucking Big Mac stained hands or my mind is not a defense.
Yeah.
They're my documents, not the government's documents, is not a defense because it's not real. It's all lies. So it's not a defense. So Judge Aileen Cannon here decides what she's going to do is now become the special master. And tell the special master, you can't do that because that's oppression towards, marginalized white men. Especially rich billionaires who grew up with a silver spoon, who've never been held accountable for anything in their entire life. You just can't do that.
Yeah.
That's what am I way off here, or is that the story here?
No, I mean, basically, Aileen Cannon became Trump's defense attorney. Like, that's what's happening.
Right.
When she's given the opportunity, then she will say, oh, well, we need to protect. No, he doesn't have to say these things or commit these things under oath because that would cause, I don't know, perjury.
Right.
He'd be lying.
Right.
It would go against him. And, these are
Well,
these
again,
moments.
I think it takes aim at the lawyers more than it does Trump, because Trump will lie. He doesn't give a fuck.
Well, here's
He'll
the
lie.
thing. The lawyers have to acknowledge, look, there's the phrase MACA, right? Which has now been associated with make attorneys get attorneys. And this is especially true right now, because now what Trump is doing is he's making these attorneys, he's putting them in a position to say, okay, you guys know what happened and you have to lie for it, which would then violate what they have, made a promise to when they were accepted, when they were given their law license to actually practice law. So they're getting in a very interesting position to, Trump can lie, sure, whatever. But now these lawyers are putting their own careers at risk because they would then be also lying,
right,
under oath and under this investigation to say, oh yeah, well,
Well, several of them have backed away because there's no way I'm going to get caught up in this idea that I'm going to lose my way of life, my well-being, because you want me to lie for you on a court motion. You're a dumbass. No way. And that's what is happening with Deary, and that's where Aileen Cannon has done the boneheaded thing by covering for Trump and his legal team because they can't cover their own ass. Because he's in hot water here. He's in deep shit. And she knows it. Deary knows it. The legal team knows it. Trump knows it because he knows what he did.
Right.
And it's criminal.
I mean, what's going to happen is the same thing that happened with the 100 classified documents.
Right.
You were going to say, oh, okay, fine. We'll appeal this decision. And then it goes to the court. And the court says, yeah, you're fucking idiot. Why would you even say that?
Right.
And then what happened last time was she said, nope, he gets to keep these documents. So they held him off. Then they went to the Ninth Circuit or the 11th Circuit, and they said, "Oh, you're an idiot.
Right.
No,
That's not
the
how that
DOJ
works.
can have these documents." And then she was like, "Okay, you guys are right." And now she's come back to say, "Okay, cool. I'm going to make sure that And then she goes forward with what she's done right now, which is around making certain statements or not having to, and pushing the case out further until December. I think.
So is your prediction here that if this, because from my understanding, I'm not a lawyer. Everyone should go listen to Ben Meiselas on this more than me. But from MeidasTouch, you can get it here on the MeidasTouch network if you're watching the replay of Bonehead of the Week analysis of every single motion. But I believe that a motion that DOJ has to kind of wait for something to file a motion to appeal to the 11th Circuit. But it likely will be overturned. But here's the thing about the criminal case. This special master nonsense has nothing to do with the criminal investigation.
Right.
Not a goddamn thing. The only thing that is that dispute here is what documents are what. And the fact of the matter is the Department of Justice has already done this work. And Deary knows that. That's why he's asking these questions, to get them to just adhere to facts inside of a courtroom. That's all he's trying to adjust to get them to do. The legal team to adhere to facts so that they can frame up a factual defense, which they do not have. That's the main thing here. And Aileen Cannon knows it, and that's what made her the Bonehead of the Week. My prediction was not her, but you guys voted for her, and that's what happens in democracy. You lean into it, you vote, you decide, we break it down. Let's give Aileen Judge, quote unquote, Aileen Cannon, her moment of boneheadness. Thank you, Judge Aileen Cannon, for being
Judge.
our winner of Bonehead of the Week. You certainly are boneheaded. I would bet that this is not the last time she's going to show up on this.
Nope.
Not the last time.
I'm telling you, once they file this, it's going to get appealed. It's going to go to the 11th Circuit.
She's going to be back on Bonehead of the Week.
And they're going to be like,
is she going to be 3 weeks in a row? Is she going to be 3 weeks in a row? Holy shit.
She gets on it next week. That'll be 3
weeks in a row. Damn.
Right now, she's heating up.
That's right.
She's heating up. Next week, she's on fire, dude.
That's right.
She's on fire.
So every Friday, don't forget to come watch the Tony Michaels podcast. Watch Bonehead live in the second hour, and also watch on the replay on MeidasTouch Network. If you're on MeidasTouch Network right now, subscribe to the MeidasTouch Network, and don't forget to go over to the Tony Michaels podcast YouTube channel and subscribe there. Help us out. Give us some support. Also, follow us on @TonyMichaelsPod, because you can vote for Bonehead of the Week on Twitter and YouTube. You vote. You decide. We break it down every single week. What a Bonehead of the Week. It did not go the way I thought it was going to go, but, that's just how it works.
Goes.
The votes fall. We certify them. We present them to the public.
No fake electors here. No one trying to influence the voting that's happening like Ginni Thomas.
No stop the steal.
We play fair. We let you guys decide.
That's right. Bonehead of the Week. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. If you're on the Tony Michaels podcast, stick around. We got some announcements after the song. If you're on the MeidasTouch Network, join us next week on Bonehead of the Week.